So there seems to be a strong misconception as to when one is eligible for asylum. For example, when is one considered eligible for asylum? What does the Department of Homeland Security look for when looking for the criteria as to when can be eligible for asylum?
Eligibility for asylum is a complicated set of rules which cannot be really explained in one video, but the basic idea is this type of protection first is reserved from people who are in dire need of protection from their government or from the society in which they live. It is also a group it is also reserved for people who would like to try it from within the United States. Number one misconception is that people can apply for asylum from outside of the country. They cannot. There's a different type of remedy available for them called the refugee protection, which is not a subject for this conversation right now, but asylum is not available for people filing for it outside of the United States. That's misconception number one. Misconception number two, eligibility. Asylum is a catch-all remedy available for everybody who doesn't have any other way of immigrating to the United States. It is not. Again, asylum is reserved for the most needy people, and it also only reserved for people who are suffering from persecution or in an immediate threat of persecution based on one of 5 protected grounds. And those grounds are religion, nationality or ethnic origin, race, membership in a particular social group, political opinion, and alike, and types of situations in which people are perceived by the society or by the government to be members of one of those categories. For example, an individual who is not engaged in political activeness in the country, but can be a relative of a political leader, can be perceived as one who is sharing the political leader's views and can be persecuted just on this basis alone. Next misconception that exists is that you do not need to prepare for an interview for political asylum. All you have to do is to come and explain your fears, and that is enough. This is a huge misconception. Any interview, it's a formal type of a conversation between a government official and a person, and that requires a very thorough preparation because the interview is limited in time. The interview is limited the ability of the officer to inquire into the depths of the claim, and the person needs to be able to articulate the claim in a short period of time, sufficient enough for the officer to understand that that person deserves asylum. That's when help of a qualified immigration attorney can go a long way. As a matter of fact, the official statistics show to us that most people who apply without lawyers get denied. Next misconception is the fact that political asylum required very heavy documentation. This is not so. Political asylum does not require heavy documentation. As a matter of fact, a person who tells the truth and who is believed by the officer or the judge to be telling the truth can rely on his own testimony or her own testimony alone in order to establish a claim for political asylum.